What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Human Proof broadcast. Today I am with Sumit from Craft of Blogging and also from TrumpExcel.com. Sumit, welcome.
Thank you, Kelvin. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here.
Nice. Well, let's kick it off with a little bit of an introduction of yourself and, well, why you're here. So why should you be talking to the HPD community today?
Okay. So guys, hello. I am Sumit Bansal from India, and I'm a full-time blogger. And as Kelvin mentioned, I have this blog called TrumpExcel.com, which is about Microsoft Excel spreadsheets. This is a blog where I create tutorials, I create videos, and this is also the blog where I also create and sell online courses. So this is one of my biggest blogs as of now. And apart from this, I also have a blog called Craft of Blogging, where I've just started it, and I just wanted to share my knowledge of whatever I'm learning about blogging and tools that I'm using. Apart from these, Kelvin told me that most of the people in the group are interested in SEO and Amazon affiliate sites. And I've also started a couple of Amazon affiliate sites about 8 months ago. So I've been experimenting with these, and I thought maybe it would be a good idea to share with you all what all I have learned, and also share what all I've learned from TrumpExcel.com, which is more of an authority site where I sell info products.
Nice. It'll be really interesting today to talk about the differences between, having the info product business and then also having the Amazon business, and what you've learned and kind of stuff like that. But before we go into that, let's talk about TrumpExcel. How did you get started with this site?
Okay, so I was working with IBM in 2012, 2013, and during that time I was working with a lot of financial data, and my job was to crunch a lot of data, analyze it, create dashboards, and a lot of advanced Excel stuff. So in my job, I was learning about Excel. So I was watching YouTube videos, I was reading a lot about it, I was going through books, and one day I was watching a video, and one of my colleagues, she was sitting close to me, and she said, "Oh, you're learning about Excel. Why don't you check out this blog about Excel?" And it was about this guy. He's also from India, and he has this huge Excel blog. And she said, "You should check it out. And this is such a good blog, and he's making so much money." And that caught my attention, and I started checking it out, and that was a good blog, and he was sharing so much. And then she said he's also been featured in one of the books, The $100 Startup by Chris Gullible. And I immediately ordered that book. I got that book, I read about it, and I got interested in it because it wasn't really, so I wasn't really hoping to make as much money as he was, but I was just hoping to get some side income, if possible, with blogging, and if I can learn something on the way. Also, I thought maybe it would be a good experiment, good learning experience. So I started writing. So I first started a blog on Blogspot. It was a free blog, and there I first wrote my couple of blog posts there, which were, I think, about 10 blog posts. And when I got a hang of it, and when I thought I was enjoying the process of writing, then I started a WordPress blog. I bought a domain name, I got hosting, and I shifted those 10 posts there, and I started that. So that's essentially how I started. Initially, I did not really know anything about SEO or blogging or WordPress. I was absolute newbie. So I would often end up breaking my site. I would make some change. It wouldn't be live for a few days, and a lot of stuff was happening. But I was enjoying the process of, first of all, learning Excel and learning about blogging. And a lot of my colleagues, they were asking me questions about Excel, on how to do stuff there. And I thought maybe instead of telling them individually, I could write a blog post and share it with them. So I started doing that. And that is essentially how I started with TrumpExcel. I had no clue about how to get traffic. I was just enjoying the process, and slowly I saw that the traffic was going up. There were people coming on sites. I was getting comments, and this is how it started. But I think it was better things happened after about a year. So I wasn't really making any money. I had a good job, and unlike many other people, I actually really enjoyed my job. I had a really good manager. I had really good work, and I was loving it. But at the same time, I was also liking the idea of blogging and making some money on the side. And then after about a year, Microsoft noticed my blog, and they thought it was a good resource, and they recognized me with something called as an MVP, which is a most valuable professional in Excel. And that made me one of the few people in the world to have that recognition. So about 100 odd people in the world are Excel MVPs, and that really boosted my confidence. But I was still not making any money at that point in time. So I had to figure out, if I have to turn this into a business, then how do I make money? So I do what most of the bloggers do, is I started looking at AdSense. So if I can get AdSense approval, I can get some money, and these would be peanuts, but at least some money would be coming in. So I started getting AdSense approval. I got rejected, applied again, got rejected, applied again, and the third time I got accepted. So AdSense income was coming in really a few dollars a week, maybe $100 in a couple of months. And then I thought maybe I can start build a course and see how it works, because I was already building an email list and I had about 2,000 subscribers. So I built an email course, a video course, and I launched it. And it didn't do really well, but it did good enough for me to have this confidence that I have a business at hand. I can do something. It's a validated idea. People do buy online courses. And then I started building my second course. And in January 2015, I put in my papers, and in May 2015, I was doing this full time.
Nice. How did you come up with the idea of those first 10 posts?
I was learning a lot about Excel, and when I used to come up with a situation where I have to do something for my work in my job, and I find something which is interesting. It's not something like use this formula, very simple articles. I wasn't focusing on it. I was focusing on stuff that actually I like doing in my job. So if there was a dashboard that has to be created, or if there is something that would help someone create something dynamic or a little more complicated, then I would write about it. Because personally, I also found it really enriching, because when I was writing about it, I was also learning more about Excel, because you have to have that level of knowledge to express it. And initial 10 posts, to be honest, I have no idea. I just thought these would be good, and I wrote it. And here's a funny story. Now it's funny, then it was not. The first blog post that I published on Blogspot, and I shared it on Google Plus. And the first ever comment I got on that was from, I don't know, from some friend, I guess, or an acquaintance, was, "Really? You found it worth sharing?" And this was the first article. I'm a little shy type, and it took me a lot of effort to share that on social media. And that I read that comment, and it really broke my spirit. I said, "Oh, I was trying this, and it took me a lot of effort to do this, and this person really trashed it." So I took a 10-minute break. I started walking. I came back, and after 10 minutes, I simply wrote, "Yes, I found it worth it," and I moved on. And that's probably the best thing I did, because now I get so much traffic. People give me so many comments. I get so many emails on how they find it useful. So I'm glad that that one negative comment didn't really deter my spirits, and I was able to do it. So again, if any one of you start your blog and you get a couple of negative comments, just keep on going. People, they often trash your work, but that's okay. Just keep on going.
Yeah, there's a lot of haters out there.
Yeah.
All right, so how big is TrumpExcel now? Can we talk revenue numbers, traffic sources, and stuff like that?
Yes. So I checked the Google Analytics just a few minutes ago, and this month I'm on track to do about 1 million page views a month. And given that it's February, so there are only 28 days, so I am expecting it to be better in coming months. In terms of revenue, I typically do small launches, small course launches, where I offer a discount to my email subscribers. So in those months, the revenue numbers are a little better. But otherwise, if I look at an average monthly revenue, it would be somewhere around $8,000 to $10,000 a month.
Nice. Yeah, the one thing too is I think it's always interesting is I've mentioned to people before, because personally blogging has changed my life just as much as it's changed your life. And regardless of whether you want to be an internet entrepreneur, I actually think you should still be blogging, because even though you wrote that content, you shared it on Google Plus. Maybe LinkedIn didn't exist back then, but I'm pretty sure that if people are writing authoritative content and sharing it on LinkedIn, it's going to help your career no matter where you are or what position you want to do, even if you don't want to do affiliate stuff. Really, obviously, if everyone here is doing affiliate stuff, but
Yeah.
So let's talk emails actually. So how do you utilize this email list? You know, how big is your email list, and how do these course launches go? Because obviously launching your first course was not, you know, is the first course launch. So
Yeah, I know.
what's it like now after so many?
Yeah, so the first course launch was pretty bad. I just had those PayPal buttons there because that was the only way of collecting money. But now what happens is I about 38,000 email subscribers, and these are active email subscribers, which means that I keep on removing email subscribers that are not active. Anyone who doesn't open my emails, my previous 10 emails or 12 emails, I remove them from my list. And this is all automated because I'm a huge fan of email funnels. So to give you an idea of how this works is when someone subscribes to my email list, then they get whatever freebie I've promised. It could be a PDF, it could be a video course, and a free video course, and they go through that entire thing. So they get the PDF or the video course, and then I send them a lot of educational emails. So my idea is that someone has joined my email list, let me first nurture them, let me share a lot of stuff about Excel which they may find useful, and it also allows me to build that trust and authority during that period. Also, it tells them my way of teaching Excel, because not everyone may like how I teach, but if people are okay with the way I teach, then they're more likely to buy my courses because they've already experienced it. And once that is done, then I do something which is live like launches. So I use a tool called Deadline Funnel. And what Deadline Funnel does is, as soon as you join my email list, you are tagged with the date and the time. And when you reach that course launch, you are shown a deadline. So let's say, Kelvin, you join my email list today and you are getting a course launch, you would be shown a deadline of 3 days. But someone else joins my list 10 days later, then they would be shown a deadline which is 13 day, because they joined at the 10th day and the deadline is 13th day. So everyone has their own personalized deadline, and that makes it more like a live launch for anyone who joins. So as soon as someone joins in, they go through their entire educational experience of getting information, getting videos, and then they have this date and time tag to them, and they go through 3 emails where I pitch them my courses. And there I would give them an introductory discount, and if they buy it, they are taken out of that campaign. If they don't buy it, then they end it and they again go to the broader list where I keep on sending them weekly newsletters. So what I have created is a funnel where anyone who joins in has to go through it. And if they are a potential customer or potential buyer, then they have this opportunity to buy my course at a discount. Otherwise, they can anytime buy my courses because they are always open. So using this email funnel has helped me a lot, because every time I send out an email, or every time anyone is going through that funnel, I have the chances of making those sales. So that works really well for me.
So you're saying that regardless of when they enter the funnel, like let's say it's March 1st is the deadline that you've got there, then they'll always get 3 emails in between?
Yes. So what happens is, let's say you join my email list on 1st March, and I send you a couple of emails, educational emails, and by 10th March, you are done with those educational emails. Now from 10th March to 13th March, you are going to get those sales emails, and your deadline would be 13th March. But let's say someone joins on 1st April, then their deadline would be for 13th April, because they have joined in April. So anytime you join, your deadline would be the 13th day after you join. And this can be made possible because of Deadline Funnel, and I integrated with my email service provider, which is Drip. So I combine these two and it's possible.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was a little confused there for a second, but now I see what you're saying. You're saying that there's always a buffer, no matter when they enter in, it'll be 13 days, and then they get an offer.
Right.
How do people? So what kind of lead magnets are you enticing people to come and join your email list?
Okay, so I have a lot of lead magnets because I use something called as content upgrades. So those blog posts that are getting a lot of traffic, I create specific lead magnets, which could be checklist, which could be printable spreadsheets for those specific blog posts. So to give you an overview, I first have a free PDF, which is about generic Excel tips. Then I have a PDF which is about VBA tips. VBA is the programming language in Excel. So people who come to the VBA category of articles, they would be given a VBA ebook. People who come to generic Excel category articles, they would be given an Excel ebook. Apart from that, on my homepage, I also have this 7-part video course on Excel. So someone who's really new and who's checking out my homepage, they can also join my free video course. And apart from that, I have these small content upgrades. It could be a printable checklist, an ebook, or a spreadsheet that I give them. So I use a lot of lead magnets, but what happens is no matter who is joining from where, eventually they're going to go into the same funnel. So it makes sure that no matter from where you are coming in, you have to go through that entire sequence where you get educational emails and you get that 3 email pitch of courses.
How much did you make for the first course launch?
Okay. I think it was $700, I think. But what was really heartening was that as soon as I sent out an email to 2,000 people, I sold 3 courses in like 5 minutes. And that blew my mind because I never thought that I could make money online. So that was amazing.
Yeah, it's a good feeling when that happens. So how much did you sell on the second launch then?
I don't know. I don't remember. But after the first launch, I don't care. I cannot recall because I've done almost like 40, 45 launches so far. So
Oh,
I don't
wow.
know. Yeah, but it was definitely a lot higher. It would be somewhere in the range of 3 to 4,000 because it was a brand new course that I had launched. So I launched the first course, then I created another one, which is my best-selling course so far, and it did really well. So I do not recall the numbers.
What kind of changes did you make between those? Yeah, I'm just trying to see the transition of the first launch, which people might be trying to do, and then what kind of strategies, I guess, do you have now versus when you first started doing it?
Oh, so in the first launch, the sales page was really bad. I just wrote what I thought would be nice, but for the second launch, I actually learned a lot about copywriting and sales copywriting. So I learned about it. I started targeting their pain points, and usually I start with that. I think the second very important thing that I did was I started using a page builder called Thrive Architect, and at that point in time, the kind of sales pages that I was making, those were really good looking. So the initial sales page was really bad, but the second one that I did, it was much better. Also, I did not just launch it and send an email out. I actually created a 3-part video series, something which has been popularized by Jeff from the book Launch. So I created a 3-part video series where I would first send them these 3 videos, and then I would send them the pitch for the course so that they already have an idea of what the course is about, a little bit of introduction about the course, and then they would get this course pitch and they were more likely to convert. So these are the things that I did, and I think this process has been working great for me so far. I've done a lot of launches, and I always do these 3-part video series first and then open it with the course launch.
Nice, nice. For folks that are listening, that's I think it's Jeff Walker, the product launch formula, and what Sumit is talking about is I think it's called the sideways sales letter.
Yes.
So yeah, if you guys are into figuring that out, or you can join Sumit's email list if you guys are interested in that stuff and kind of seeing the whole process from his angle there. Is TrumpExcel would you say it's a passive business for you, or is there a lot of support?
No, it's a passive business for me. There is support involved, but I do not really get a lot of emails from my core students. But I really do get a lot of emails from my subscribers. So every time I send out a weekly newsletter, I end up getting 200, 300 emails from people who are either just responding to what email I've sent or they're asking queries. And unlike many other niches, in Excel, people's query can be really technical. So if I start answering each and everyone's email, it'll take me many days, and I get almost 35, 40 emails every day, and most of these are Excel queries. So it's really passive, but if I decide to answer those email queries, then I'll have to put in a lot more effort, which currently I'm not able to do. I'm not able to keep pace with the emails that are coming in or the comments that are coming in. I'm not able to do that.
Oh, okay, okay. So you don't answer every single email.
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay. Uh, how does YouTube come into play with this? Because when we actually first started, when we first talked, I kind of just looked at your website, and that was kind of it. And I thought, okay, well, that's is an excellent website, so I'm interested nonetheless. But then I saw the YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel I think has around 33,000 subscribers. I may be wrong.
36. Yeah, 36.
36? Okay. Yeah, let's talk about that. How does this all come into play? When did you start implementing YouTube?
Okay. So what happened is I applied for AdSense, and when I got rejected twice, someone told me, why don't you try the YouTube route? And you create 3 videos on YouTube then, and you're more likely to get the AdSense approval. So the initial way, the reason I started was purely monetary. I wanted to get the AdSense approval really, really badly. And I created that channel, and I created 3 videos, and I got the AdSense approval. So this is how I started the YouTube channel. But then I noticed that when you create videos, as compared to creating a blog post, YouTube is doing a lot of work for you. So when you create a video and you put it there, YouTube also shows it as related videos if you're using the right tags, if you're using the right description, and that helped me a lot. So although it takes a lot of effort for me to create videos because I had to have that entire setup, and I initially I was using a really bad mic, and if I sneeze or if something happens in the background, then I would redo the video, and it took me a lot of effort, but it all really paid off because YouTube was doing a lot of work for me. And now even if I don't do anything, YouTube subscribers keep on coming. So that's working really well. It also makes me about $1,000 or a little more than that every month in ads. But what really helped me with YouTube channel is that people get to see my videos, and my videos are an entry point to my courses, because once you have seen my video, you know how I teach, and a lot of people find it interesting that I teach in a way where I really dump it down, and people like that. So when they see my videos, they are more likely to buy my courses. So it also helps me directly.
Nice. Yeah, I thought that it would probably come in as kind of an entry point into your ecosystem there. I actually didn't realize that you are also earning ads from that as well. So that's pretty.
I am running ads on that. Yeah.
Let's talk the Amazon sites then. Let's talk about these.
Okay.
How did this all come about then? Why have you why not just build another Excel site?
Okay, so first of all, it'll be really, really difficult for me to create another authority site, given that I'm the only person working on it and I write all my content. The reason I started Amazon affiliate sites is because I wanted to see what's the fuss all about. There are people who are building sites and making money, and it's not really about making money because I'm already making money on Excel, and I'm sure if I put in the time that I'm putting on Amazon affiliate sites, the ROI would be much higher there if I count my time. But I just wanted to learn the process of how this goes on. So what I did was, as an experiment, in July, I started 3 sites. All these 3 are in different niches, and 2 of these sites are those that I've started from scratch, and one of the site I actually bought from Flipper, and I wanted to see how this works out. So one of the site is for the US market in a moderately competitive niche, and 2 of those are for the Indian market. And one of the site that I bought from Flipper, it's for the Indian market. Now, when I was starting these sites, my intent was not to quickly create and flip these sites or create a lot of Amazon affiliate sites. I wanted to learn how this entire process works, and if possible, obviously monetize it. So what I decided from the very first day is that I'm going to create Amazon affiliate sites which are not just about Amazon affiliate. So there is a potential of making info products there, or there is a potential of finding affiliates which are non-Amazon affiliates or high-paying affiliates, so that tomorrow, if these scale up, then I have a way to make money apart from Amazon. And Amazon keeps on changing their commission rates, and I just didn't want to rely on only one single source of income. Second is, I'm so comfortable making and selling info products. I can really use my experience from TrumpExcel and put it here. So with this, I started 3 sites in 3 different niches. One I bought from Flippa, 2 I started, and I started putting content on it. Now, because I cannot write the content myself, I have no time for it. I hired a writer. So a friend needed some money, and I hired her to write all this content for me. And I have not really put a lot of articles there. So one of the sites, that is the US Amazon affiliate site, is currently doing about $200 to $250 a month. There are about 26 articles there, and these are good quality articles, high quality articles, really well interlinked, everything is good. But we have not really done a lot of link building. What has worked for us is doing really good keyword research and finding those keywords. So I use the KGR, keyword golden ratio method by Doug from Niche Site Project, and that has worked really well. So initially I found that, and then I improved upon it and find more keywords, and started building the content. uh, the another site that I bought from Flippa, that site was actually in a bad shape, because when I bought this site, there were all the tags were indexed, all the categories were indexed, every article had like 15-20 tags. So I bought that site, changed the entire format. I had to trim it down, so I think deleted. There were 80 articles, now there are about 46 or 47 articles. So I deleted a couple of articles from there, made sure that there was topical relevancy. I didn't want an Amazon affiliate site which is talking about 5 different categories or 5 different topics. So I had to cut down some content, and I made it more topically relevant. And despite cutting down the content, and the traffic has also fallen since I've acquired it, and now it's getting traffic which is 1/4 of what it was getting then, but the conversion rates have gone up. So I'm still making the same amount of money because the conversions are really high. And the third site, which I've started for the Indian market, it has 11 articles. It gets close to 10,000 page views a month, and has started to make money. Others are the good authority sites, because I think because of the topical relevancy, because these are really about just one niche.
We got cut off a little bit there.
Okay.
Let's rewind back to where maybe just like a minute is
Okay.
is good. Go ahead.
All right. So these 3 sites, the first one is the US Amazon affiliate site. It's making around $200 to $250 a month, and has only about 26 articles. The Indian Amazon affiliate site, which I talked about, it has only 11 articles, and this site is getting around 10,000 page views a month. And the good thing about this site is that I have done a zero backlinking. I have not built any link for this site, and it's still outranking a couple of authority sites, probably because of the topical relevancy, because it is all about one single niche. So the experiment is going well now. Now I'm making some money, in total about $500 a month, and now I want to scale these sites. And at the same time, I also want to ensure that I just don't end up making these as purely Amazon affiliate sites. I want to make sure that there is a possibility of pitching info products and selling info products, because the margin there is really high. So this is an experiment that has been going on. I think I started in July last year, and so far so good.
I'd like to actually talk about niche selection, because that's pretty important, and even just you highlighting the fact of picking a niche where you can add an info product would probably be possible on there.
Right.
Can we go through that? Like when you're looking at all these sites, because you've got 3 sites, which by the way I'd like to dive into more on why 3 sites and not why one site. Sorry, but yeah, let's talk about niche selection. what goes in your mind for what makes for a good niche?
So as I said, in my mind, a niche is good if first of all I can get some money, get some ranking quickly, which means that if I am looking at the products or the reviews or in general the niche, I do not see a lot of authority sites ranking. So if let's say I use Ahrefs, and if I'm seeing a domain rating of somewhere around 50 or 50 plus, then that becomes difficult to outrank. And if most of the sites in the first 10, top 10, top 15 results are high DR, high domain rating sites, then I would probably not pick it up. And this is the way I did it for my 3 sites, because I wanted to make sure I can quickly reach a level where I can monetize these. Another thing, as I said, was that I needed to make sure there are other Amazon, other affiliate programs that I can use apart from Amazon. So if I do not find that other affiliate program, I don't start a site on that. It's not that I'm a pro in this. I just started as an experiment, but those were my criteria. And the third was obviously if I see that there are other sites that are selling ebooks or video courses or anything related to information, then I would find it to be a good site. Because if I can get traffic, even if I'm not making Amazon affiliate sales, maybe I can promote someone else's ebooks, or maybe I can promote someone else's courses. So I can have better margins there. So these were the 3 main criteria. Also, I did not want to start all these 3 sites in the same or similar niche. I wanted these to be 3 different niche. This was because maybe we humans, we have a tendency of to avoid losses. So I just wanted to diversify as much as I can, so that in case 1 or 2 niche doesn't work out for me, maybe the third one would. And in this case, thankfully, all the 3 niches have worked out well.
How many sites did you look at before you ultimately decided on any of them, actually?
I actually did a lot of research, and generally also I keep on doing research, and I keep on looking at sites and what these sites are doing differently. So in general, if I'm, let's say, searching for anything and I see a site, I would just see that site, I would put it on Ahrefs, look at their competitors. I just do it in my free time. I'm kind of nerdy, and I come up with a lot of different ideas from these. So when I was doing this, I don't know the number of sites, but I actually considered like 40, 50 niches. And one of the things that I also noticed was what are the things that I am actually buying, or my family is buying online. And if they are buying this online, then maybe I can start something about it. So that's how I came up with it.
Nice. That actually reminds me. I can't remember if it's in the 4 hour work week, but I do remember Tim Ferriss had mentioned that a good way to find out products that people might be interested in, or if you're just looking for ideas, is to actually look at your credit card bill to see
Yeah.
where you're spending money. So if you guys are, if you're looking for a niche, then that's one strategy. Why did you start 3 sites? Why not the 1 site?
Because that would be, if that one site didn't work out, I would be left with nothing. So I just wanted to create 3 sites. Somehow I thought was manageable. And to be honest, I started 1 site, then I was using tools where it allows you to quickly export the settings and apply it on the other side. So I think after 3, I decided it was too much, because for me to manage content writers and publishing the content and interlinking those content, I thought 3 was enough. So when I started with it, initially I had no number in mind. I started 1 site, the next day I started the other one, then I bought the 3rd site, and then I decided, yeah, that's enough. That's enough. I really cannot manage more than 3, because I also have TrumpExcel and craft of blogging, and I'm writing all my content myself. So I just didn't want to be overwhelmed and working on weekends. So I stopped at 3.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the US site.
Okay.
How does the US site work in terms of content strategy? Well, not content strategy, content process. Are you hiring writers? You did mention that you write a lot of content yourself, but are you writing the content in the Amazon sites?
No, I'm not, because I would not have the bandwidth for it. And I also need to make sure that TrumpExcel and Craft of Blogging are being taken care of. So what I'm doing is I do the keyword research, and then I pass on that keyword research. So for example, let's say I'm writing about best XYZ products in 2019. And I would do the research, and I would take those 10 products, I would find those products on Amazon, create a list, and then I would send it over to my writer, and the writer would create an introduction, then write a review, reviews about those 10 products and send it back to me, and then I would publish it. So it's not low quality, it's decent quality stuff. And we make sure that for each product there are pros and cons and a little bit of description, and it helps the user, the reader, decide what is the kind of product they would want. And also, I'm also making sure that at the beginning of the article, I recommend top three products. So, for example, if you come to that article and you are in a hurry, then you would see my top three recommendation right at the top. And then, if you have more time, then you can go. So, if people are in a hurry, they can directly go there. Otherwise, they can go through the entire article.
How did those top three products work? Are they just based on the quality of whatever somebody's looking at, or are they kind of targeting a specific person? So, example, top. This is the best one for women. This is the best one for men, or something like that, or the best one. You know what I'm saying. But
yes. So what I usually do is, while I'm picking 10 products, I go through. So I use Amazon filters, and I would make sure that I'm not picking up products where there are only 2 reviews or 3 reviews or 5 reviews, because then even if everyone has rated them a 5, then that doesn't make it a 5 because there's not enough reviews. So I would make sure that at least there are 50, 60 reviews, and the rating is in the range of 4 to 5. So when I apply these filters, I get a list of products there. Then I would quickly go through these products and I would check their comments a little bit. So it takes me a little while to get that list of products, but I then categorize these, or I list these and sort these based on the ranking and the overall reviews that they have got. And after that, I would send it to my writers. So the top three product there would be the top three product based on the star rating, the reviews, and overall so if it's too expensive, then I would not want to include it, because generally if all 9 products are not very expensive but one is really expensive, then maybe it's not a good idea to include it in the top 10. So this is how it's, again, just basic sense that I use.
were all of the sites that you purchased earning money right away?
Yes. So it was making about $150 a month. The site that I purchased from Flippa, it was already making money. But what was happening is, it was not making money just from Amazon. It was also making money from other affiliate networks in India. So what I did was, I removed all those other affiliate networks, which is very similar to Amazon. There is one called Flipkart, and I removed it because I wanted to standardize the process in a way, because I'm using specific tools. That person was using a plugin called Content Egg, so that uses the API and pulls the data, the image, and the description. And I'm using a plugin called AAWP. So I use that plugin for all my Amazon affiliate sites. So I wanted to make sure that it's consistent all through. So I removed everything. I just kept Amazon affiliate network, removed the other networks, and made sure that the conversion goes up so that I'm still making that much money.
So all of the sites, but all of these, just to be clear, all 3 of these Amazon sites you actually purchased. So it wasn't just the one on Flippa.
No. I just purchased one from Flippa. The rest 2 I started from scratch. So I did everything from scratch, and I only purchased one site.
Gotcha. All right. So with the Flippa site, then, what did you? A topic that we've been talking a lot on the podcast about is kind of like the assessment of these sites. So when you're kind of looking around, what is it like for you to say yes to a project? What are you looking at? Are you looking to disqualify things? Are there certain things that you're looking to improve? What walk us through that.
Okay, so when I saw this listing there, the first thing that impressed me was the domain name. It was a brandable domain name, and I really liked it. The other thing was, when I was going through the site, I noticed that there were a lot of things that were not done right in terms of SEO. So if I can make those minor changes, especially on-page SEO, then I can improve the rankings. Also, I noticed that the topical relevancy was off. So if I can cut down on the content and improve the topical relevancy, then there is a better possibility of making more money in that specific niche or in that specific category. So these are the things I noticed. I also noticed that it was ranking already pretty nicely without a lot of backlinks. So even because there is a low threshold of backlinks as of now, or a low control level, if I get a little bit of backlinks, it would really help me give a jump to the rankings. So these were the things I noticed. Also, there was just basic design stuff that I thought maybe I can improve upon this. So this is why I bought this site, because I could see that the kind of skill set that I have, I can quickly apply and improve the conversions in that site.
Were you ever afraid at one point that the backlink profile would be not true? Because sometimes you can hide backlinks from Ahrefs or Majestic or whatever other backlink tool, basically.
Yes, that actually came to my mind, but when I spoke to the buyer, and I find him really genuine. And after speaking to him, I did not really get an idea that he was someone who would be using PBNs, or who would be something using those kind of links that he is then hiding from Ahrefs. So that was there in my mind, but after talking to him, I thought it was okay, and this was the kind of risk I was ready to take.
I think that in itself is a pretty interesting topic, the assessment of someone that you're purchasing a site from, because it's not, well, maybe let's try. What kind of, how do we make that more tangible for people? How do you assess someone on the internet that you're going to hand over a large sum of money to that you deem trustworthy? What kind of stuff are you asking them or doing to make sure that this is going to be a fulfilling transaction?
So first, when I talked to him, I noticed that this guy was very forthcoming in sharing all the details. And whenever I would ask him a question, he was not trying to evade it. He was very, very honest about it, and it was showing. The second thing I noticed was that he was not very skilled when it comes to selling Amazon affiliate sites or digital marketing or blogging in general, because he asked me. He actually transferred the site first, and then I transferred the money. So that was, yeah, that was a big thing. And when I came to know that he's ready to do that, then this further cemented my trust, because this guy, he's genuine, and I know from my end that I am going to transfer the money, but I also need some assurance that this guy is going to transfer the domain, because data is fine, I can quickly get the data, but I needed the domain from him. And he actually, before I transferred money, he transferred the domain. And that really shows that first, that person is not really a pro when it comes to selling sites, and second is I found him genuine. It's just few things that you talk to the person and you see that he's really trying to sell that site and very forthcoming with all the questions, then it's okay. And to be honest, it wasn't a huge amount that I gave him, so it would, even if I had lost that amount, it was okay. I was ready to take that risk.
Okay. So it's kind of like the risk factors that go into there. Would you do that again for a larger site, or would you do a private sale, or would you rather go through a broker for
I would rather go, I would go through a broker if I have to. And somehow, I don't know, but in the past 1 month, I have got 3 offers for TrumpExcel. One of this is a really popular investment company, one that has bought a lot of Amazon affiliate, not Amazon affiliate, authority sites, sites that I know, and I'm sure even you would know, but I don't want to take their name now. But I've been getting a lot of these offers, and they're ready to offer me about 3 to 4 times of the annual profits of TrumpExcel. But I'm just not selling right now. But I don't. So if I have to do it sometime in the future, I would go through a broker, because that would be a huge deal for me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these transactions only occur, for most people once in a lifetime. But I guess, if you do it once, then you probably have the itch to do it again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You said that you redesigned the site. How did that go? And did you lose rankings because of it? Because I think a lot of people, that they're scared of that, and they should be scared of that.
Yes, so I did lose rankings. The traffic is now 1/4 of what it was when I bought the site. So the few changes that I made was, apart from cutting down on the content, is I am using Elementor theme builder on all my Amazon affiliate sites, and I'm using AAWP, and I'm using a combination of these two. So I wanted to make sure that this is consistent across all these three sites, because if it is consistent, then it allows me to scale these quickly. And if some change has to be made, then I can quickly make these changes on all these sites. So when I did this, I had to remove all the plugins that person was using. So that person was using Table Press, and then there is another plugin that actually makes Table Press tables responsive. So there were a lot many plugins that I had to remove. He was using Content Egg, so I had to remove that. I use AAWP. I don't use any table plugin. I use HTML code instead. So I had to make those changes also. The entire process took me a few days, and I also created a good looking homepage, and I trimmed down the categories. There were around 6 7 categories. I don't know how many tags, so I had to change that. I had to make sure the tags were no indexed, the categories, only the categories that I want to be indexed are there. So there were changes, and I did lose ranking. The ranking went down by one. Now the traffic is at 1/4 of what it was originally, but because the conversions have gone up, then it actually makes up for it. What has actually happened is I've been spending too much time on other sites, and I've not really been able to focus on this. So after, I think in a week or so, I'll start ramping up the content and also focus a little bit on link building, and probably the traffic would go up again.
How much time are you spending on these three Amazon sites right now?
I spend 1 day a week. That's it.
And what is that mostly spent time doing?
So I keep on doing keyword research, because I'm not writing the content. So either it would be keyword research, or it would be publishing the content that I'm getting from my writer. And these days, apart from the keyword research for my site, I also keep on reading about Amazon affiliate stuff on how to improve conversions and how I can optimize my conversion rate. But most of the time, it would be keyword research.
How do you like the Amazon business model? I don't even really like calling it the Amazon business model, but it's very easy for people to relate to. But how do you like that idea of this affiliate business versus the info product business that you've got? What are the differences, the pros and cons for those?
When it comes to the info business that I have, one thing that I really like about it is that I have my own email list. And in Amazon business, I'm not building email lists, because people are really, what they really want is come there, check out the products, and if they like it, they click on the link, go and buy from Amazon. So I like the fact that there is an email list, and that email list knows me, they respond to me, and I can do a lot more stuff with email funnels and email marketing, as compared to an Amazon affiliate site where I have to be on the mercy of Google and Amazon. So I have to make sure that the traffic is coming in, and I have to make sure that the commissions are coming in from Amazon. And personally, I do not like that feeling. So this was one of the reasons I wanted to also pivot from Amazon model to other models as well. I'm not at that stage as of now, but I hope to be there in a few months, because personally, I don't like Amazon just getting all my income from Amazon. I don't like that feeling.
How are you going to build? Actually, no. Before I ask you that question, are these niches, these three Amazon sites, are they topics that you are passionate about?
No. So I'm not passionate about these, but I'm familiar with these because it helps me in doing keyword research. So no, I'm not passionate about these topics.
All right, then that makes for another interesting question then too, because I think a lot of people are kind of the same way, that they've got an Amazon website for which they aren't particularly passionate about the product. I've actually heard this, interestingly enough, from the majority of people who are earning income from being an Amazon associate. But how are you going to build an info product for this? Is it like, what's going on in your mind for the stages that you'll have to take in order to build a product on any of these sites?
Definitely, I'm not passionate about these products, these niches. I'm familiar with it. If I now come across a product which is related to these niches, I check it out more closely. But when it comes to creating info products, I'm thinking I will have to get it done from someone else. So maybe I'll have to hire someone who can create those info products for me. And my passion would actually come in when there would be email funnels, and where there would be site audits, and where there would be SEO, because those are the things that I really like. So it's not that I'm not passionate about the entire business. There are parts to it where I'm passionate about, which is not related to the niche, but managing the site and growing the income, and improving the ranking. So I am passionate about the process part, maybe not the product really.
So does that mean that you'd reach out to possibly like an influencer in the space and collaborate with them in a let's say like a joint venture?
Yes. So first step would be to find out if there are products that are existing in the market, and I can become an affiliate for these products. So that is a quick win for me. And if those work really well, then I can also try and replicate those similar kind of products and create my own products there. So it doesn't need to be a detailed course that I have on Excel, but it could be a simple ebook. And an ebook is something I can pay someone, or someone who's specialized in that specific niche, and they can create it for me, so I can then try that.
So it sounds like you've got a lot of experience in conversion rates, so conversion rate optimization. What kind of tips do you have for people? Let's stick with the Amazon side. So, what kind of tips do you have specifically for physical product conversions?
So I wouldn't say I have experimented a lot, but the few things that I have tried out is, first of all, giving them the top three products right at the beginning. So I started with, uh, let's say, if you come to that site or that blog, and if you are in a hurry, then you can quickly go through those top three products, where I would list those products, and there would be a little bit about the product there, and that improves the conversion, because a lot of people just come and they see the image, they see the link, and they click on it. Another thing that I have tried is having a sticky image on the sidebar. So while you're scrolling through the article, there would be one top recommendation on the sidebar that would be scrolling with you right there. So a lot of people end up clicking on that. I'm also using a lot of heat maps to see how people are responding on specific pages. So if there is a high conversion page, then I would go through the heat map after, let's say, 10 days or 20 days, and see where are people clicking. And if possible, I can put some buttons there, or links there, then I would do that. To be honest, I'm not an expert in CRO, conversion rate optimization, but I'm just learning about it. So these are a few things that I have tried that have improved the overall conversion for my site.
That's very cool. I haven't. I mean, the sidebar one is something that's very interesting, actually. So I'm pretty eager
So
for that one.
yeah, so I'll also tell you this with Elementor. So what was happening is I was using a plugin. I think it's called Q3W2 or something similar, where this plugin is a sticky sidebar. And what happens is, every time I created a blog post, I would have to add one product there in the sidebar. What you can do with AAWP plugin is, you can quickly add product in the sidebar, and it will fetch from API the title and the image and the price. So a nice looking box. But when I had 26 articles, and when I had 26 of those sidebars, then there were 26 items in the Q2W3 plugin. And I thought, if I have 200 blog posts, then there would be 200 of these. And I didn't like that. But what happens with Elementor is, there is a plugin called ACF, Advanced Custom Fields. And you can combine the power of Elementor, Advanced Custom Fields, and AAWP to create a template where the sidebar would be there, but you do not have to put it multiple times. While you are creating that blog post, you can simply pick up the ASIN code from Amazon and put it in the ACF, and it would automatically create the sidebar, which has been built by Elementor. So it may sound a little complicated here, because I'm not showing you how to do this, but once you're done that, then that's pretty cool, because every time I write a review product, I don't have to worry about a plugin and putting those in a plugin. I just simply copy the ASIN number in the advanced custom field, and it's done. So I always have a sticky sidebar for all the products without any fuss.
Very cool. Very cool. advanced custom fields.
Yeah.
What has been your experience with in terms of SEO for all these projects? So you've got TrumpExcel, and you've got the three Amazon websites. One is in the US, two is in targeting the Indian market. Whoa, has it been easier to get SEO traffic for TrumpExcel than it has been to get the traffic to the other sites?
No, organic links, because my articles are now ranking, so people would give me backlinks from forums because they would mention my article, or someone would ask a question based on that article. So I get a lot of organic backlinks. So it's easy now with TrumpExcel, but I find it really hard. Creating backlinks, writing guest posts, I find it really, really hard. For TrumpExcel, I do it because I know that it's something that it's got into the authority mode, where as soon as I write an article, it starts ranking within a few days on the top page. But for other sites, I know guest posting. I don't use PBNs. I don't use Web 2.0s. I've learned all about it, but I don't use it. I'm relying on guest posting and pure white hat techniques. I don't know there are white hat techniques or not, because any link that you build is actually not allowed according to Google. But I try and stick to guest posting and forums.
Okay, very cool. What kind of SEO tips can you share with the audience today? Are there any ones that you've seen in particular that have helped you a lot? Because you've progressed through the Amazon sites pretty quickly.
So I would recommend checking out the Google Search Console data if you have a site that is already ranking, because you get a lot of information from it. So if you, let's say, have a page that is already ranking, and you click on that page in Google Search Console, so log into the Google Search Console portal and click on performance, and there click on the top ranking page that you have, and then click on queries, and you would see all the queries that page is ranking for. Now there, if it's already ranking well, there would be some queries on which you are ranking on the first page, maybe first position, second position, but then there would also be a lot of queries for which you are ranking on the 30th position, 40th position. Now that page probably will never rank at the top for those queries, but those are the keywords that you can use to create new content. So you can create content there, and that content is very topically relevant to the content that you already have on your site. So that actually helps you in building content which is topically relevant and which can also rank well, and you get a lot many keyword ideas from there. So this is one SEO technique that works really well. Another technique that has worked really well for me is building topical relevancy. And one of the Amazon affiliate sites which has only 10, 11 articles, it's really topically relevant, and that has worked really well. And I actually tried this with TrumpExcel first. In, I think, April last year, I was getting about 300,000 page views. And now I'm getting about 1 million page views, because what I've started doing is I've started creating content in a way where the entire category is complete. So if you come to that category page, you would find all those articles that would give you a complete view of that specific category. So if it is, let's say, about VBA or programming language in Excel, and you go to my VBA category page, you would find so many tutorials where you can go from A to Z, and you can probably learn VBA at least to a good extent. So I have built out those category pages by creating relevant articles, and that has improved the topical relevancy. This also meant that initially, when I had 5 articles about VBA, they were not ranking. But when I created 25, 30 articles about VBA, everything started ranking, because I can also interlink these with each other. These are relevant, these are now has a good authority, good relevancy, and all of these are ranking. So topical relevancy is really huge, even when it comes to Amazon affiliate sites.
I'd actually like to talk about keyword cannibalization right now, because we're talking about topical relevancy, and with such a large focus on there's a lot of opportunities to actually create articles that are almost too similar to themselves. But let's walk through a role playing situation. So, given the strategy, if I'm correct, is what you're saying is go into Google Search Console, look at the queries and where you're showing up. And essentially, if you're showing up on let's say the 4th page there, what's happening is that Google is saying, okay, this specific page is not strong enough to make it onto the first page. So you should create a. What you're saying is that person or we ourselves should create a page targeting that query which we're on the fourth page for. So how do you make sure though that there's no cannibalization issues?
Right. So in this case, I think I should have been clear. I do not mean that you create content which is very similar. So let's say, just to take an example, if you have an Amazon affiliate site about hairdressers, hair dryers, let's say, and you have this article, best hair dryers in India, or best hair dryers, and you go to Google Search Console, you would also see that you are ranking for, let's say, best hair dryer or best hair dryer in India, but you would see that there would be product specific query keywords also for which you're ranking on, let's say, 40th position or 50th position. Now that product specific review is something that you can create, which would not cannibalize, but which would help you create more topical relevancy and also gives you ideas that this is the product people are searching for. So instead, if I have 10 products in that article, instead of writing reviews for all those 10 products, I would pick 2 or 3 products which are already being shown in my Google Search Console data. So I know that there is some impression for this. I know people are searching for this. Maybe I should first focus on these. So that ways I have this main top 10 article, top 10 product article, and also single product reviews, which then support that top 10 product article.
Nice. That's awesome. I really like that. Let's talk about something that we mentioned previously before the call, and that's the mixing of your your daily business processes using Excel, right? Because I know that you've got some, obviously you've got an entire website. You are you're an Excel authority, but you can use Excel for a lot of situations in SEO even, right? So how are you doing this kind of stuff?
So there are many things that I need to do when I'm publishing content on Amazon affiliate sites. One thing would be that as I said, I do not use any table plugin. So I have to create those tables using HTML. Now, if I'm manually doing it, it would take me a lot of time. So what I do is I have this spreadsheet where I can simply put in the ASIN code for the products that I want to show in a table, and Excel would throw a code, the HTML code that I can simply copy and paste it in the WordPress text editor. So as soon as I put that HTML code there, it would automatically create a table with 10 products, their names, their prices, and the Amazon button. So this process helps me a lot because I don't have to do it for each product individually. I simply put the ASIN codes, and ASIN code can be used in the plugin, which is AAWP. So you put the ASIN code in AAWP and it will fetch the title, the image, the price from Amazon. So all I have to do is just take those ASIN numbers, put it in Excel, and Excel would create this entire huge HTML code for me. I would put that code in the text editor and it would give me those tables where I have top 10 product tables and top 3 product tables, and I can fill the content there. So I noticed that doing this one time in Excel saved me a lot more time going forward because now I can quickly get these codes.
All right, very cool. Is there anywhere else that Excel has helped you?
So I keep on doing a lot of things. So if I have to analyze URLs, or if I do a lot of stuff with Excel. So I analyze keywords, I get those data from Ahrefs, I can export the data, I put it in Excel. I have all these rules in place where if the if the traffic value is more than this, then highlight it in a specific color. But I keep on playing with it. I do not have any template for it. I just keep on doing it. Somehow I'm a little faster in Excel as compared to an average person. So I just use it. But Excel is something I used multiple times in a day for all these website audits and website keyword research and HTML codes. I just can't live without it.
Awesome. Would you encourage people to create HTML tables like you have?
Yes, I would. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people actually use page builders, and Thrive Architect has been really popular among people who create Amazon affiliate sites. Now we also have Elementor and other page builders. And I was using page builders with TrumpExcel in my sales pages. And one day Thrive Architect had an update. So it was earlier called Thrive Content Builder, and then they migrated to this new version of the plugin called Thrive Architect, and a lot of things broke. And at that point in time, I realized that if I rely too heavily on a page builder plugin to create stuff such as tables or create stuff such as pros and cons and HTML tables, then it might break again. And as of now, I only have a few articles. But if I have 200 articles tomorrow and that breaks, then I would have to redo it in 200 articles. So I started experimenting a little bit with HTML tables, and I find it better because there was a little bit of code involved. What I do is I generate that code. So you have an HTML code part and you have the CSS code part. You put the HTML code in your theme and you put the CSS code in the CSS editor, and then whenever you get a table, it's a little better formatted, and so you can get the pros and cons in green and red color. So it took me a little while to figure it out, but once I have that template ready on my Amazon affiliate sites, I have a specific page which I have not published, but it has all those templates. Now, whenever I have to use a pros and cons template, I would simply go there, copy that, and paste it in my blog post, and it would have that same similar looking pros and cons box or similar looking top 10 table, and I can quickly replicate it and copy and paste it. So that saves me time, but it also gives me the peace of mind that I'm not at the mercy of a page builder. Things are not likely to go wrong because even if my theme changes, even if everything changes, that HTML code is going to work the same.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I guess for folks that think that CSS and HTML is scary, it's not. It's not, and it's actually very beneficial for you if you're going to be doing stuff online. It's kind of the front end of the web there, and generally there's like what Sumit has done is he's added the CSS into the CSS file within WordPress, but you can actually add it in inline. So it's called inline editing inside of the HTML. So you don't actually have to add that in there. I'm actually curious as to maybe why you didn't do it that way. I know that technically you shouldn't do that because it should be in the CSS, but I do. Is there any reason particularly that why you didn't add it as an inline CSS?
So what happens is you put the HTML part there, and in the CSS part, you would have to put so for example, the TRs and the TDs and TH of the table, you would have to put it in the WordPress editor, in the text editor. But let's say you want to have a green color for the pros box and red color for the cons box, then that is done using CSS. So you have to define those rules in CSS that if that box, if that TD or that TR has a specific code, let's say pros, then color it in green, or if it has cons or whatever name you give it, then let's color it red. So this is why there is some kind of styling that you need to do in CSS, and that styling is then used in line within your text editor. So actually you need to do all three. There should be HTML, CSS, and then you have to actually put the table within the text editor or in the WordPress editor if you're writing a blog post. So actually, if you want to check out an example of what I'm talking about, you can check it out in Craft of Blogging. There is an article I wrote about the best personal finance blogs in India, and there I have created those tables where I have the used HTML and CSS, where you can see these are green and red colored boxes. These also have those tick signs and cross signs that you have, which usually people create through page builders. You can also create these using CSS. So you can see that those are nice looking boxes, nice looking tables, and it has been created with CSS and HTML.
Nice, nice. So we'll link those into the show notes for the episode here. We'll probably stop there with this HTML CSS talk just because it's it's getting a little bit deep there. We want to start talking about attributes and all that kind of stuff with for people that aren't familiar. But I think that's pretty much all the questions that I've got here for you for today. Is there any final pieces of advice that you'd want to share to our audience?
Because most of your audience are people who are doing Amazon affiliate sites, my advice would be, if you're starting a site now, just don't focus on Amazon affiliate. business model. Try and also see if there are other affiliates, if there are other ways of monetizing this site, because if you get to a level where you're getting a lot of traffic, then you also need to be sure that there are other ways of making money, so that you can stack multiple income sources. So if you have Amazon affiliates, then you also have an opportunity to make money from, let's say, being affiliate to other networks, or selling your own products, or other ways of monetization if you can find it. So if possible, if you're doing the niche selection as of now, just keep this in mind, and let this be one of the factors that helps you choose a niche.
Nice, nice. Sumit, where can people find you?
So if you want to contact me, you can reach out to me from craftofblogging.com. I have my details there, and if you have any Excel related questions, then you can reach out via TrumpExcel.com.
Very, very cool. Well, Sumit, thank you for dropping by, dropping some wisdom on building TrumpExcel and the 3 websites, and assessing what it's like to purchase a site on Flip and things like that. Well, that's pretty much it. So we'll see everybody next week then.
Thank you, Kelvin. Glad to be here. Bye. Bye-bye.